Okay, there we go. Finally, we got it. Hey, everybody, happy Tuesday to you. Tuesday Talks live with John Robinson. Happy to be here with you guys. We have real estate conversations every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, where I'm at. And then, of course, you have down the line 3, 4, and 5, depending on where you're at. So happy to be with you here on this great Tuesday afternoon. I hope that you are having a great day. I hope you're having a great week, and I hope you've got a great plan for the rest of the week and for making some money by making a difference in the real estate space. So, I have been all week, I guess I want to talk a little bit about what I've been doing. I've been all week working on a challenge that I've been on, and I actually posted about this yesterday morning in several of the different groups. If you're in one of my real estate investor groups, then you probably got that notice. And if you did not get that notice, then let me know because I look like looks like my for my insights on my Facebook side, it looks like a lot of my posts are not getting a lot of traction, and I'm not exactly sure what to do about that. So um, long and short of it, though, is as I've been on a 5 day, I'm in the middle of, or I guess we're 2 days into a 5 day, so not quite to the middle, AI Secrets Challenge with Russell Brunson. And I did this because knowing full well that Russell Brunson is always trying to sell something and he's always trying to get you to sign up for something. He's always got a million different offers and he talks super fast. He talks faster than I do. He's very slurred with his speech. Whenever he gets going, he gets all tangled up in his words, but he's an amazing businessman. And it just goes to show you that, having the exact perfect tone of speech and all that stuff isn't what makes somebody able to make money in sales. Russell Brunson has a great product. And one of the reasons why I posted about that challenge yesterday in my groups is because there's so much going on right now about AI and how to use it in your business and how to save time and how to build systems and all these things. And frankly, I'm not necessarily convinced that AI is actually saving people a lot of time yet. I think the average person is probably spending more time than they ever did before trying to figure out how to use AI to do the things that they used to be able to do. So I am of the opinion that most people are not systematic enough and most people are not focused enough to really make AI be a major game changer or a major time saver or a major money maker in their business. That's just my opinion. Okay. Now, I could be basing that off of, the guy I know the best, which is, of course, myself. But I found that a lot of people are trying to use AI in ways that are supposedly going to be, change their business or help them do this, that, and the other. And a lot of people just aren't making money. They're not really doing everything that they thought they were going to be doing using AI. So if you're in one of those groups, you can feel free to raise your hand and say me, that's me or whatever. But I'm in this middle of this challenge because I do believe that with the right kind of usage and the right kind of approach, or maybe I should say this, the right kind of framework, right? So if you have the right kind of framework, then I do believe it's possible to make artificial intelligence a real major asset in your business. Now, I believe that's true whether you have a brick and mortar type of business or a service-based business. I think you can really streamline things, and by streamlining things, you can actually save money. By not having to either A, do it yourself, or B, pay someone else to do it. There's very, very easy to use systems now and I'm talking about it from a guy who's not a super systems guy. I'm not someone who has a ton of skills in coding or anything like that. In fact, I have zero skills in coding. But AI, with the right kind of tools, has made it possible for me to do things that I didn't really ever think were possible before. I'm talking about from me. I know that other people could do it. I didn't think that I could do it. So I'm using it in a very intentional way in my business. So just be, frank with that. I'm not going out and trying to change my entire business. I'm not trying to become an AI expert like a lot of people are these days. I'm just trying to find little places where things that I do on a regular basis could be done, in a way that's streamlined and even systematized so that I don't have to do it or that I don't have to pay someone to do it. I'll give you an example. In 2021, I had quit working at Intel as I was a full-time Intel employee there. And most of you know I involved in ministry for many years. So I was, people have heard about being bivocational in ministry, meaning you have your pastoral job or your ministerial job, and you have a secular job. Well, I was trivocational and I was an overachiever, right? So I was, pastoring full time in the Portland area. I was also working at Intel full time. And then I was also building and running my own real estate investment business full time, which involved flipping, involved wholesaling, involved doing classes, hosting meetups, all those things. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to cut one of these out, and it's going to be the one thing that actually provides a paycheck every 2 weeks, and that was working at Intel. So I left my job working for corporate construction world, stepped into the world of full-time entrepreneurship, of course, with still doing the full-time pastoring. This is in 2021, and one of the ways that I made that transition is I decided I've got to get a team of people. So I hired virtual assistants. And what did these people do? They did things like wrote blog articles for my website that I was trying to drive traffic to, because you can't just have a website out there and expect everybody's going to find it. You've got to drive the internet traffic to that website. Most of you probably understand this. So, by the way, if you have a business and you have a website, don't think that you have enough. Like if you have a business and you have a website that is not getting traffic, then your website's really not doing you a whole lot of good, right? It'd be kind of like, I'm a fisherman and I've got a big fishing net and I just throw it out there and just hope that the fish swim into it. Well, that might work occasionally, but that's not strategic, right? So one of the things I did was I hired some people to write, literally physically, type up blog articles about, how to help homeowners and distressed properties. And that was kind of the niche of real estate that I was in. Of course, most of you are too. And so I'm trying to drive traffic by creating these blog articles. And then I had someone else that was doing graphic design, so revamping my website and posting stuff on social media. Then I had someone else that was kind of like almost like a general admin, just kind of overseeing all this different stuff, right? So I had these people working for me, and at one point I had, I believe, 5 virtual assistants, or no, I had a team of 4, and then I had a guy in the office who was kind of overseeing those virtual assistants. Virtual meaning they were real people, but they lived offshore in the Philippines, and they would get work contracts with them for much cheaper, but that also was problematic in some ways because, well, let's just be honest, right? Not everybody that doesn't live in America knows how to speak proper English. Actually, most people in America don't know how to speak proper English. But that being said, whenever you're doing things professionally, you're trying to present this, I've got my website, I've got my articles I'm writing. You can't have a bunch of, errors with spelling and phrases, that are used that are not used in America. Like one thing was always kindly, kind sir was how the people would be addressed. That don't sound American. You know what I mean? So I would have to go back, even though I was having people do this writing, I was having to go back and proofread everything and then go back and edit and try to change what I wanted them to say and cross it out and then find a way to actually get it back to them so they could rewrite it, send it back to me for another review. So if I approved it, then I could send it back over to their team and the other team, and then they would actually say, okay, well, now how do you want this posted? Where do you want this posted? You get the idea, right? So when the first publicly available version of ChatGPT came out, and I recognized almost instantly the value that there was there with some of the things that could be done. This is early on in 2022 when I first started, using ChatGPT. I recognized immediately that my need for these virtual assistants, these workers that were doing all these other tasks, my need for 3 out of those 4 like instantly went away. And I didn't go fire all them. I just waited till this is kind of toward the end of the year as I was making this decision to go into using ChatGPT. And so end of 2021, we kind of phased everybody out, paid everybody an extra bonus, and just kind of let them, hey, we're not going to be reusing you right now. So the point I'm trying to make is everything changed whenever this AI became available to people that saw the usefulness of it. But again, using AI in your business to actually make money as a real estate investor, as a brick and mortar contractor, you have to actually sit and think, okay, what thing would I do if I didn't have to do this? What else could I be doing that would make money? So you don't just want to do something that replaces, a worker. You want to look at it and say, is it actually a money producing expense? Who's going to run the AI, right? There's got to be these questions that are asked. And so I've been doing a challenge all week. And it's put on by Russell Brunson. And Russell Brunson, of course, is a master marketer. Most of you probably know that if you're in the world of real estate investing or anything like that, you probably know that. So I've been doing this challenge all week, and I'm 2 days into it. Usually it's actually about a 2-hour session, 2.5-hour session that I'm doing because I got the VIP access, or I get the pre general session, content, so I can go over and I'm looking at some of the tools. I'll be totally honest with you guys. It's pretty impressive. Like, I've seen some other stuff, but this is really, really impressive. What Russell Brunson has done is he's taken, and I'm actually going to pull him aside here. So if you guys are familiar with Russell Brunson, then you know that he is one of the kind of the leading experts in all things to do with marketing, right? So I don't know if you can see that or not, but well, you can't. What is going on here? Oh, my background is blurred, so it does the whole thing. So this is Russell Brunson's expert secrets. Okay, this is another one, workbook, Unlock the Secrets, featuring some stuff from Tony Robbins, traffic secrets. So you can't see it; it's really blurry, but they've taken all of these books and all of the content, and they've actually built it into the brain of his AI. So that if you are looking to market something, if you are looking to build something, whether it's a funnel, whether it's an offer, whether it's a webinar, anything like that, you now have the tools to be able to do this much, much quicker than before. And what does that translate to as far as making money? Well, for someone who is maybe trying to reach distressed homeowners, and you say, I want to pick a particular market and I want to really create, a great website, and then drive traffic to that website and have pertinent articles and all this stuff tied in, really, really useful tool. So that's what I've been doing this week. And I wanted to let you guys know that is something that's available for anybody that wants to. You can still jump in on it. In fact, I think if you get the VIP, then you get the access to go back in and actually watch the replays and everything like that. So very, very cool. At the very least, it's kind of opens your eyes a little bit to what is possible by utilizing the right kind of AI. I mentioned I started using AI back in 2022, which is, some people were using it a long time before that. But for me, I just saw that it was very useful. So I started using it, but the AI that's out in 2026, some of the advances that have happened is just incredible. So if you guys are interested in learning more about that, or you interested in signing up or jumping in on that challenge, and the other 3 days are still available, and getting the replays for the first 2 days, let me know, and I'll send you over a link where you can get access to that. It's something I posted about yesterday in the Facebook groups, but I can also let you guys know more about that if that's something you want to do. So I want to just switch gears a little bit and talk about where things are at right now in the real estate markets, and as far as like what is going on. And every market is a little different as far as like regionally across the country. But I wanted to get a feel from you guys. What are your thoughts on the real estate market right now? And if you have any comments, please drop your comments into the chat. I'll read them live here. But I have some experience with this because I'm kind of in a couple of different markets, right? So I do deals in Florida. I do deals in Portland area, really anywhere in the state of Oregon, but I prefer to be around Portland, where it's a bigger city. I know that market pretty well. And then what are your thoughts on the Idaho market, right? So that's where I'm at. What are the thoughts on your market? And so I have a little bit of experience watching these different things. And here's what I'm noticing. Okay. Just want to throw this out there for you guys that have been thinking about maybe I want to get into flipping or something like that, or wholesaling. Let me just say this. Cash offers are getting accepted right now. Okay. So just as a little bit of a comparison, in 2018, 2019, before, the whole pandemic and all that stuff happened, in 2018, 2017, even 2019, I remember I started flipping when I flipped my first house accidentally in 2015. But in 2017, 2018, 2019, good luck with just throwing out a cash offer on a property. Okay. First of all, good luck finding a deal, because it seemed like by the time they hit the market, they were already spoken for. And by the way, that's kind of generally true. I usually tell people, if it's already on Zillow or if it's on a wholesaler list, there's a pretty good chance that I've already seen it, or most people that are actual legit buyers have already seen it, and kind of either turned it down or made an offer that wasn't accepted, and so they just walked away. So back in before 2020 though, man, you had to offer not only cash, but you had to offer usually above asking price. And even if it wasn't listed, even if it was truly an off-market property, seems like most homeowners, most sellers knew that generally that it was a seller's market, right? So they understood, hey, I don't have to sell this thing to you. I've got 3 other people waiting at the door to, waving cash at me more than you've got, right? So that was the kind of the environment. Well, 2020 happened, everything froze for a minute, and then everything just blew up again. So 2021, I would say even like late 2020, 2021, 2022, the market was still pretty good. But what happened, of course, in 2021 or 2022 is we saw the interest rates start changing, start climbing. 2023 started going up. 2024, 2025 didn't really. They flattened out a little bit 2025, but the retail buyers' interest rates kind of stagnated a lot higher than they were in 2017, 2018, 2019. And so what's happened, of course, is the market is cool off, which means this, that a cash offer that can close quickly is much more likely right now to get accepted than an offer that is not necessarily cash or that's contingent on financing. And so what that means for some of you that are kind of been thinking about getting in, or maybe you've been out for a while, but you're wondering if now is a good time to get in. I just talked to some folks this morning. They're like, well, what do you think about, the house is listed for $459, and a previous offer had been accepted at $440. And then that offer fell through for whatever reason. And I was talking to some folks this morning. They're like, well, what do you think about 400? We just feel like that. We don't want to be insulting or whatever. And first of all, I said, listen, if you're not a little bit embarrassed when you submit your offer, then you're probably offering too much. Okay. I've learned that over the years. You just have to get over that fear of like, oh, what are they going to think about my offer? And is this too low? And listen, it's got to work for you, right? Especially when it comes to investing. Now, you might be able to afford to pay a little bit more if it's your own personal residential home. But when it comes to making offers, you first of all, you need to be coming in as low as you possibly can, and then maybe even a little bit lower. Why? Because that is how you get your best deal. They say you make your money on the what? Make your money in real estate on the buy. You make your money by buying at a low enough price that you can't lose money. Okay. So that's first of all. And by the way, this is super good advice. If you're wholesaling out there right now, please listen to me. Stop telling people that you can pay the prices that they're asking for, and stop just paying, writing up contracts for, $10,000 less than what the sellers, wanted. You guys have got to do your numbers. You've got to run your numbers. You should be looking at a threshold. You should be looking at whatever the retail finished price is. Let's just say it's $450,000. Your cash offer should be starting out in the mid 200s. I'm not joking. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to just throw something. You should be about 50% of whatever the retail offer is. And of course, that's all contingent on what the condition of the property is. So if you want to get a good deal on a wholesale or on a fix and flip property, you need to be offering less money. Okay. And then in this current environment that we're in right now, because of the fact that the market has shifted, because it has slowed down, there is actually still a massive amount of interest in the market, right? People are still wanting to buy properties. There's still properties that are selling every day. So I'm not necessarily saying that demand has slowed down. It's the access to financing that has caused the sales to slow down. Does that make sense? So because access to financing is not what it used to be, and because it's much, much cheaper, then what you have right now is you have a market that is cooled off, not because people don't want to buy, but because people cannot afford the monthly payments at the prices that their houses are being offered right now, and what the rates that the banks are offering. And so what you have to do is you have to be coming into these deals that you're looking at right now with a very strategic and investor framed mindset. You have to be looking at like, listen, if it is not just a price that just makes me kind of giggle and grin that they said yes, then I'm going to be taking a second and third look before I even throw out an offer. Okay, and I'm stressing this because I'm talking to people right now who are one, they're on the sideline. They're like, I don't know if we should get in or not. Listen, you can't lose whenever you get a property low enough. You can't lose in any market as long as you get the property locked up low enough. Okay. But secondly, sellers are understanding where things are at right now, and sellers are open to these types of offers. I'm almost like they kind of expect it to be that, right? And again, there's a difference between retail property and distressed property. I want to be clear about that. But even with retail deals, make a lower offer, right? Don't be afraid to make a lower offer right now because it is a buyer's market. And I will say this, that cash is king. And if you guys are working with like private money lenders, or you have some of your own cash, or you're working with hard money lenders and you're just going out and making those very, very favorable number offers, favorable toward you, you can get deals right now. You can actually get really good deals. And so I'm looking at stuff right now in my different markets, and I've got people bringing me things and I'm saying, nope, 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 nope. And then they're like, well, what would you be at? And I'm giving my price, and people are like, okay, well, that's a lot lower than I thought, but let me see what I can do. And I don't mean to say that like we're trying to get people, in a bad situation, or just trying to, there's a proverb that says, it is not, saith the buyer, but then when he goeth his way, then he boasteth, right? So there's a little bit of that everybody loves a good deal, but this is more strategic for your business, strategic for your personal financial endeavors and efforts and goals. Is you want to get properties at a very, very low threshold right now. Whatever Zillow says, and of course Zillow is just Zillow, but whatever your ARV is for after repair value, if it's 450, if it's 500, you should be down in the 200s to mid 200s max on your cash offer. If you're going to do a cash offer, quick close, just keep it low, low, low. Okay, so the question that I have for you guys, and by the way, this is going to be a shorter broadcast today, is number one, are you guys making offers? I'm just interested. Is anybody making offers? By the way, no one will accept an offer that you don't make. I know that's super wise and profound, but like no one's going to accept an offer that you don't make. You've got to make offers. You've got to be out there making offers consistently, strategically. And again, your offer might be different than my offer, and my offer might be different than the next guy's, but still get out there and make those offers. When you're making these offers, this is my little bit of advice right now based on the market. I would say in every market that I've been in right now that I operate in, I would say that the best offers are the ones that are quick. They're all cash, very few contingencies, right? Give the seller something and say, hey, I'm going to give you a low offer, but I'm also not going to come back in and require you to do a bunch of repairs. Don't do that, right? If you're going to give a seller a low offer, then make it easy for them to say yes to your cash offer, right? You got to give them something. And I would say that right now, anywhere across the country, with very few exceptions, cash offers are coming in. They're coming in and they're getting accepted. So you guys take that and do what you want to with it. If you'd like to know how to make cash offers, you'd like somebody to look at a property with you, just look over a deal, feel free to let me know. I have I'm having a short program today because I've got an appointment I've got to get out to, but I've got about another minute and a half, 2 minutes left before I jump off here. So if you have any questions, feel free to post it. Even if it's not necessarily, I don't answer it live. I like going back in and looking for everybody's questions and answering in the comments. But, are you guys making offers? Are you out there doing anything? Or are you guys all frozen up? Well, I don't know what's going to happen in the market. Remember, if you get it low enough, you can always do something with it. It opens up your exit strategies. So I'm working on, let's see, we've got 3 properties here in the Boise area that we're working on right now. We've got 2 in the Portland market. I've got a potential development property in the Florida market that I'm looking at. And then, I like these 3 markets, right? I don't mind Portland as long as it's in and out type of deals. I do not want to hold anything in Oregon, but it looks like I might be holding one for at least a couple of years just because it's too good of a deal to say no to, subject to deal. If you guys are interested in learning more about creative financing, you want to learn more about seniors and working with seniors as they move out, anything at all that you have a question about real estate, this is Tuesday Talks, real estate conversations with myself, and I love answering your questions. So feel free to ask your questions. I've got to jump off because I have an appointment that I've got to be getting out to, but thank you guys for joining me today. Not a long broadcast today, but don't forget, make your offers make sense to you. Okay, you don't have to explain everything to the seller. Make it make sense to you. And if the seller is in a spot where they need to have that cash quickly, they will understand, and you might get yourself a great deal. Okay, so I hope you do. If you guys need any help with anything, let me know. Until next time, I'll see you later. Tuesday Talks with John Robinson every Tuesday afternoon. Take care.